Hey world, I have not made you guys a YouTube video in quite some time. And as I started recording, I get nervous. Look, you can like see the redness appear on my face. But I'm working on self-awareness, and one of the things I wanted to share is about toxic positivity. I think I've spent so much of my life being like, it's gonna be fine, I'm okay. That hurt, but it'll be good. It could be worse. It could be worse. It could be worse was my go-to line. But it wasn't until COVID and a situation that happened that brought a lot of sadness and emotion that positive lingo was just not working. And I'm super grateful because I had a friend visiting who was asking me some questions, and I started to get emotional, but I was like smiling, like my eyes are welling up, but out of my teeth I was like, it's gonna be fine. And like my eyes were welling up. And he looked at me and he said, why are you acting so positive and smiling instead of just admitting what you feel? Like, he said something along those lines, like, I see the tears in your eyes. Like, why is it so hard for you to just admit what you're really, that you're hurt, that you're upset, that you're pissed, that hurt you, upset you? And I think that moment, I'm spending more time with that friend the following day, and I think that moment and that day together just really like slowed me down enough to actually deal with what I felt. So let's fast forward to a week later. I traveled out of town. Same thing. I'm finally alone with myself. And it's almost like instead of those positive thoughts being like, I'm sad, I want to cry, I'm alone, I feel these feelings, processing them. And I had an epiphany that I've sold this vision of like, you got this, be positive, push through it. But I was reading out of the Bible, out of Ecclesiastes, and it talks about how there's a season for everything. There's a time to mourn, there's a time for dancing, there's a time to cry, and there's a time for singing. And let me get the words out exactly. But I just think that how many times have we spent our time being like, I need to be positive? This is what it said. For everything there is a season, a time for every activity under heaven, a time to be born, a time to die, a time to plant, a time to harvest, a time to kill, a time to heal, a time to tear down, a time to build up, a time to cry, a time to laugh, a time to grieve, a time to dance, a time to scatter stones, a time to gather stones, a time to embrace, and a time to turn away, a time to search, and a time to quit searching, a time to keep, and a time to throw away, a time to tear, and a time to mend. And it can go on and on and on and on, right? The ones that resonated with me were a time to cry and a time to laugh, a time to grieve and a time to dance. How many times have we just wanted to laugh and to dance because we don't want to deal with the time to cry or the time to grieve? I'm taking this time to grieve, this time to cry, this time to actually deal with the non-positive feelings I feel. And I think it's so important to get to the place of genuine laughter and genuine dancing instead of doing it, but all these other things are stuffed down. And so I say this to confess, but also to hopefully free some of you as you are navigating through things. Like, are you taking the time to cry? Are you taking the time to grieve? Are you taking that time? I'll tell you what, I don't think I have. And now that I am, I'm realizing that it's making space for, the more I process, it's making space for the good stuff to come out. So the more I can allow myself the freedom to cry or grieve or be angry or just deal with those emotions, the more it actually makes space for those laughter, dancing, building up, healing spaces. So I share all that to encourage you to be honest, to be real, and to be authentic and hopefully deliver some hope. So what are you doing today to slow down and process your emotions? What are you doing to mend your heart, to grieve, to cry? Have you, like me, bought into toxic positivity where you're just so positive you're actually like minimizing what's real? Don't live in a false reality. deal with what you feel. It'll help you and others around you. It's made me a lot less confused. So, hope you have a blessed day. Toodles.